Hi, I'm Olivia. Welcome to this little short tutorial in which we're looking at the Ujjayi breath, which we use very much in the Ashtanga method of yoga. Ujjayi breathing is something that a lot of people find a bit confusing or a little bit irksome or difficult to master, but it's not really that difficult, and it's a really useful tool for managing your yoga practice, even if you're not doing Ashtanga. And in actual fact, Ujjayi breathing is a really useful, just a pranayama, a breathing practice method for calming, slowing the breath down, helping you to cope with anything that life might be throwing at you. So we're going to have a little look at how to achieve Ujjayi breathing, what it is, what it's for. So the Ujjayi breath, it's warrior breath, is what it translates as. And the aim of it is that what you do is you partially close the glottis in the back of the throat, and this slows the movement of the breath in and out. This has a number of benefits. One is that it warms the breath. As the breath goes more slowly over the glottis, the breath warms more, and that helps to build heat in the body, which is what we want. Practicing Ashtanga, you want to build an internal fire, you want to get really hot and sweaty, you want to build heat in order to allow the muscles to move more easily, in order to be able to get into your postures. So that's one thing that the partial closing of the glottis does. The other thing that happens is that as you close the glottis and start to do your Ujjayi breathing, your breath starts to make a sound. It makes that sort of shirring sound like water over pebbles, or maybe a little bit of the wind in the trees. It's not really strong, it's not a really loud sound. Maybe if you're in a class appropriately socially distanced, your neighbours may be able to hear you breathing, but not all around the class. But when you've got a whole class of people, Ujjayi breathing, it's a beautiful sound. It's really lovely, shirring sound that comes through the back of the throat. And it's gentle, it's not really strong, it's not really forced. So all this is all very well, of course, but how do you actually achieve Ujjayi breathing? Well, in the years that I've been practicing Ashtanga, I've heard a number of different descriptions of how to do it, and I'll share 3 of these with you, and some descriptions, and you can try them out, see if they work for you, maybe play around with them. So one of the first ways of achieving Ujjayi breathing that I was taught was to pull the back of the tongue towards the back of the throat, as if you were trying to scratch the back of the throat with the tongue. So it's kind of like a pulling backwards of the tongue. Which then starts to create that shirring noise as you breathe. So the tip of the tongue is pulled right back, almost to where the tongue attaches to the base of the mouth, in order to pull the whole of the tongue back into the throat. So maybe try that one, see if that maybe works for you. If that one doesn't work for you, then another method to try, I really like this one. This one was shared by David Swenson, who is a very well-known and lovely Ashtanga teacher. And he describes creating Ujjayi breathing as bringing a smile to the back of the throat. So it's almost like you're smiling in the back of the throat. And when you try this one, you can't also help but, I'm smiling anyway now, I can't stop. You can't also help but bring a little bit of a smile to your mouth. So as you smile at the back of the throat, it brings that little bit, it's almost like a smirk, of a smile to the face. So that's a really lovely, feel-good way of finding your Ujjayi breath. And the other method that I have come across is to think about closing the lips and then acting as if the whole of the mouth is full of water. So you close the lips, but you open the mouth. And And that automatically sort of brings this closure to the glottis. It's a strange one to get your head around, but it does work if you can get it. So just keeping the lips closed and then filling the mouth with air. So you don't need to puff your cheeks right out, you're not going, but just filling with air. That's quite a nice, easy way to find Ujjayi breathing, I think. It works quite well without too much effort. Now, quite a few people say that when they practice their Ujjayi breathing, the mouth quite often tends to start filling up with saliva. That's fine, just keep swallowing, stop breathing, swallow, come back to it again. Eventually, you'll get the balance right and you'll be able to practice your Ujjayi breathing without that happening. And one of the lovely descriptions that I've heard of Ujjayi breathing, when you've got it, when it feels like it's flowing really nicely, you really do start to feel like you're breathing through your ears. So have a practice, have a play around. You don't have to be actually doing your practice to play around and practice with your Ujjayi breath. Practice it whenever you can, whenever you think of it. Try to use it in your practice as well. It will help you to focus. It will help to take you deeper into your postures. It will help you to hold your postures for longer. And it will help you to extend your breath so you can take those lovely 5 long breaths that you want to be taking in each posture in the Ashtanga series. I hope you found this helpful. Thank you for watching the video. Namaste.